Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 10 o'clock on July the 10th, and we had much drier day than yesterday, obviously, but just a huge disaster going on upstate right now with the storms. Before I get started with that, we'll show you the satellite loop for today, and you can actually see that swirl in the atmosphere. Take a look at that. That's your low pressure center right there. And you can see I'm a little worried about some of the smoke that I see off to the west of that we may have to start dealing with. It looks like it's at the upper levels, but we're going to look at that a little bit. But we did break out into some sunshine today by the afternoon and show you what the sky looked like. Actually, it was quite pretty. We had some cumulus and cirrus up cumulus to the surface, some cirrus above it, and quite beautiful skies, as you can see here. Blue skies. The cirrus was from anvil blow off throughout from some of the storms that there were a few isolated thunderstorms that developed inland, and a few on Long Island too that happened out east. But you could see quite a beautiful sky. And then I went to Port Washington to watch the sunset, and I was like, oh, I have a feeling it's going to be a nice sunset. And sure enough, I was right. Take a look at this anvil blow off here from the thunderstorms over Jersey and inland. You can see. Take a look at this. This is the storm right back over here, you can see, and look at the anvil blow off that's blowing off at the top there in the upper level winds. That is extremely beautiful, I gotta say. That is breathtaking. Here's one more shot of it, and it's just incredible, beautiful. I almost thought of taking a video, but I didn't quite have the time for that for you. But I figured I'd share the pictures with you in the weather update, so at least you get to see how beautiful that sunset was tonight. And you can see, again, if we roll this back, you can see some of the storms firing off, the cirrus getting blown over us throughout the area. But let's talk about the storm yesterday and the flooding. And we're going to first start with the storm report summary because there's too many really to read here. But we're just going to, go over this a little bit here, show you, and maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see that a little more. But it says here, these are all flash flood reports. So you can see in Mahopac in Putnam County, water rushing down Wixon Pond Road and East Lake Boulevard. So Putnam, Dutchess, Rockland, Orange County really got hammered. There's Fair Street closed to high water, tree down on House with Wires in Middletown, flash flood in Viola, Rockland County, flash flood in Orange County, flooded basement, numerous flooded basements and several closed roads in Maybrook and Orange County, flash flood in Middletown and Orange County, several roads closed, high water, DOT debris and DOT flooding and DOT tree down, road closure, Palisades and State Parkway at exit 19. And there are roads that are impassable and will be for quite some time because of debris on the, you have those cliffs, and it's like literally California. Vehicle in floodwaters, Fort Montgomery, house fire caused by lightning strike in Orange. Flooding and debris spill has closed 9W at Seven Lakes Drive in Fort Montgomery. 9W is washed out in both directions in Highland Falls. That's right, the area, I believe the town is called Highland Falls. It is completely cut off. People cannot get in. People cannot get out. I don't know how they're getting help there. It may be by helicopter. I don't know, but it says boulders blocking the roadway between Fort Montgomery and Highland Falls. Flash flood in Fort Montgomery, Mine Dock Road. Flash flood in Tuxedo Park. Flash flood in Highland Falls. I mean, we can go on and on here. Flash flood in Cornwall and Orange County. People trapped in vehicles submerged in floodwaters at Eagle Valley Road in Highland Falls. Highland Mills, flash flood, basement flooding. The base of the Popolian, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Popolopin Arch Bridge is being washed out, and that's in Fort Montgomery. New York State Route 293 is closed in both directions. Flash flood in Orange County. Fire department responding to vehicle trapped in flood. Flash flood in Montrose in Westchester County. Metro North Hudson line is suspended between Croton, Harmon, and Poughkeepsie in both directions due to flooding. The water got above the tracks, and the tracks didn't wash out, but the road bed underneath it did. A portion of US 6 has collapsed near the traffic circle west of the Palisades Interstate Parkway in Fort Montgomery. Significant flooding ongoing on Main Street in Highland Falls. Fire department responding to vehicle trapped in floodwaters at the Long Mountain Parkway traffic circle. And a flash flood has closed Palisades and State Parkway at Gate Hill Road in both directions. There's also a report of debris in the flooding. Vehicles submerged. This goes on and on and on here. We can read the same stories repeating themselves with all these flash floods. Mutual aid for several people trapped in floodwaters near the Bear Mountain, at the Bear Mountain traffic circle on US 6 and Route 202. Video shows Route 210 between Cornwall and West Point washed away. So we have roads washed away. We have damage to Metro North, which is still suspended right now, I believe. North of Croton Harmon on the Hudson line, and north of Southeast to Wassaic on the Harlem line. And there are shuttle buses being provided, fortunately. It's very hard to provide them, obviously you can understand, with all the road damage. Flash flood report, as a correction there. Vehicle and so it's constant reports here. Metro North, flooding on the tracks. Multiple people trapped in RVs. 39-mile-an-hour wind gusts at Stamford from the thunderstorm. DOT reports flooding and road closures on the Sawmill Parkway northbound, north of exit 17. All lanes closed. Sawmill River Parkway, all lanes blocked. And, you know, people think you're in inland, you're in Westchester or Hudson. You're not going to get this kind of flooding, but you can. Yorktown police report multiple roads flooded and impassable in Yorkton Heights and Mohegan Lake. This is Yorktown Heights. So Yorktown Heights also hit. A flash flood in Jefferson Valley. DOT reports flooding on US 202 in both directions in Yorktown. All lanes blocked and the local car dealership parking lot flooded. Law enforcement reports several vehicles stranded in floodwaters. Occupants were able to walk away without the need for water rescues. Debris and flooding on the Taconic State Parkway in Yorktown. 56-mile-an-hour wind gusts at Smith Point, believe it or not. That occurred at 3:50 in the morning this morning. They had a strong thunderstorm move over Suffolk County as well. And parts of Suffolk got a lot of rain, too. And we also have reports of flooding in New London as well, in urban areas of New London. So apparently that area also got a lot of rain. Now let's go to the latest rainfall reports here. And, again, these are a doozy here. Here we go. So, see, Fairfield County, Connecticut, all right, nothing crazy. New Haven, I mean, this is a lot of rain. This is almost a month's worth of rain. New Haven County, 2.78 inches. New London, parts at Salem, 2.77. We go to New Jersey, Bergen County, you see over, between 1 and 2 inch amounts. Passaic County, Oak Ridge Reservoir, 3.08 inches. In the Bronx, 2.82 inches. Nassau County also got a decent amount of rain out of this, 1.86, but this pales in comparison to Orange and Putnam counties. The U.S. Military Academy at West Point, 8.12 inches of rain. That is almost a summer's worth of rain in just 6 hours. Highland Mills, 5.98 inches. Montgomery, 5.37 inches. Monroe, 4.91 inches. Port Jervis, 4.19. Those are your really hard-hit areas there that you had, all right? Really hard-hit areas. And we go to Putnam County here. Look at this number. Almost 9 inches of rain in Putnam Valley. 8.93 inches. 8.13 in Mahopac. Lake Carmel, 7.73. Putnam Valley, 6.35. This is an incredible amount of rain, folks. Just incredible. 1.88 a little next. So these amounts in Queens don't seem like much. Stony Point, 6.36 inches. Montebello, 4.06 inches. Sloatsburg, 3.95 inches. I'm surprised that the West of Hudson service on Metro North didn't get suspended. Suffolk County, okay, we got some areas out east got a lot of rain also. The Pine Barrens got a lot of rain. Remsenburg, Spionk, 3.36, 3.26 at Center Moriches. Baiting Hollow, 3.05. Eastport, 2.80. Shirley, 2.72. And look at Westchester. Here we go again, another crazy high amount. 8.10 inches at Shrub Oak. That is, like I said, over 2 months' worth of rain. Almost a summer's worth of rain there falling in just hours. So, no wonder why we had all this flooding. Ossining, 6.07. Somers, 5.95 inches. Tarrytown, 5.38 inches. 4.90 inches at Briarcliff Manor. Peekskill, 4.82 inches. Mount Kisco, 3.4. I think it's a little less as you head further south. But, I mean, absolutely crazy to see this amount of rain. And it was all due to all this humidity being just put into the area. You have warmer than normal oceans, and I'm going to remind my viewers that we're going to go to the MODIS. We're not going to go to the MODIS. We're going to go to the earthnullschool.net, and you will see we have way warmer than normal oceans here. It's not just El Nino, but the SST, sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic. Take a look at these sea surface temperatures that we have south of us. These are the anomalies that we have. So let's go into the anomalies here. And you'll see, actually, I got to... All right, well, we'll keep it on this for now. So look at that. That is 6 degrees warmer than normal, 7 degrees warmer than normal. So you have all this warm water, and, the moisture is being pushed up, and then you have the orographic lift also, because you think you're high up. It actually makes it worse. It actually enhances the precipitation. So when we look at the actual water temperatures here, you'll see that we're dealing with water temperatures 76 degrees, 75 degrees. The rate we're going, we could see 80-degree water temperatures by August, which is very disturbing. And it's just another sign of the climate crisis that we are dealing with right now. And we'll go to this. I've got to fix this, so second, we just got to go in here and put this back to, it already went back to 100. Okay, as long as we're back at the right, so I almost forget there. But absolutely crazy. Looking across the country, and, we're not alone in this. The whole Northeast, even Vermont, we have flood warnings still ongoing for parts of Vermont, and looks like, Vermont. This is Vermont over here. We have flood watches for much of New York State into interior New England. Still another flood warning there in Massachusetts, western Massachusetts. Flood watches and flood warnings still in effect for certain areas here in, it looks like, Vermont. So absolutely crazy. We're going to put the rainfall totals on the map for you right now. It'll be the first thing we're going to do. Let's go to the 24-hour. Let's do the 36-hour. Because we got to do 48 hours because I got to count. All right, so we're going to look at the 48-hour rainfall totals. I got to put the surface screen. All right, so here we go. And you'll see what I mean. Look at these high rainfall amounts here, all the way up into Vermont, dealing with these high rainfall amounts. And you can see 5+ inches here in some of these areas. Absolutely insane amount of rain in these areas here in Vermont. So it's not just us. Vermont is also dealing with this. You can have some high rain, look, over an inch. This was a real soaker. So after that dry period, we get all our rain at once, and that's all part of climate change. Things aren't distributed properly now. You can see interior parts of Connecticut there, 5.64. Northwestern Connecticut also got hammered pretty hard here. And you can again see these high rainfall. There's that 8.20. You can see where it kind of just went crazy here in Pennsylvania too. Absolutely nuts to see this. Now, as far as Long Island goes, like I said, out east they actually managed to get a decent amount of rain. Out east in the Pine Barrens, believe it or not. Almost 3 inches in Mattaville, 1.35 at West Hampton, 3.07 up there in North Riverhead at Friarhead. We'll get some more Long Island numbers as well here. You can see it definitely has alleviated the drought, though not how we wanted it, obviously. But with climate change, you're never going to get, nothing is going to be normal again. That is one thing I'm going to credit the governor on, Governor Hochul. She actually said in her speech, she said, this is the new normal. This is the new normal we need to be talking about, because it's only going to get worse from here. And I'll give her credit on that. So let's go to our current conditions out there right now. And the dew points have come down a little bit. 66-degree dew point at Islip. I can't believe how dry that feels. 61-degree dew point at Farmingdale. Yeah, it feels like the humidity is a lot lower now. The humidity has dropped quite a bit. So let's go take a look at Farmingdale right now. We'll use Farmingdale because we'll show you how the dew points have dropped. Let's get that loaded up here, and you'll see the dew points have dropped. It was more humid earlier on. We had 70-degree dew points, but then as you got later in the afternoon, the dew points dropped. The drier air worked in. You can see the northwest winds. Still kind of mild out there, 79 degrees, so it's still kind of warm tonight. I'm not getting a sea breeze, but we are certainly definitely lowering the humidity levels. See mid-80s, temperatures in the mid-80s, highs in the mid-80s. Got to the upper 80s, though, in New York City and upper 80s in Jersey as well. Looking at our lows. lows, low 70s. So, yeah, it's probably still above normal for the day. We'll go look at our climate statistics for the day. So, Islip 83. So we were 3 degrees above normal at Islip. Central Park, 1 degree below normal. So a little bit above normal. But anyway, what a historic event that happened. Something we'll just never forget at this point. So until the next crazy event that happens, you know. Looking at our Ventu sky, because I want to look at that, I just want to rewind the radar, just point out what happened overnight, because we did get into some of that heavy rain on Long Island. You could see some of that heavy rain over the Pine Barrens there. Look at that, hitting the Pine Barrens 4 or 5 o'clock. You could see that right there. Really something right there to see. So we did get a decent amount of rain out of that little batch that went over the Pine Barrens, but man, they just got soaked over there. Let's go to the rivers and lakes, because that's the next thing we have to look at, because a lot of the rivers are probably running very high due to all that rain, and you can see there are a number that are running high. Housatonic River, for instance, is at minor flood stage right now. So I'll have to see how this impacts the rivers, but we have some rivers that are definitely in flood stage due to all this rain. It's amazing they're not worse. It really is. It's just absolutely crazy what we witnessed yesterday. And right now we still have rain going on up here in, looks like upstate, some more rain coming for Vermont. It's the last thing they need right now. Montreal also getting soaked. At least this is affecting some of Quebec, so they're getting some rain, and hopefully it'll help the wildfire situation there. We do have a whole line of storms that is in Michigan right now, and a few more storms over in the Midwest. And we'll go ahead and look at our severe storm threat right now. So you can see severe storm threat mainly in the Midwest, with the enhanced risk over there. And we go into day 2, and that kind of just stays in that area. It goes a little bit further north, focuses more on maybe Iowa. But anyway, crazy. All I gotta say, crazy stuff that we witnessed yesterday. Looking at our high-resolution satellite, you can see that there's some of that smoke. It's probably at higher levels, but you can see still a lot of smoke in Western Canada now. Seems to be a lot of smoke going on, but maybe we'll get some clear air into tomorrow. And things are still going to remain warm, but we do have a little bit of a break from the humidity. Looking at the Weather Prediction Center, you can see the high. This is just continental air. It's not from Canada, but it is drier, so it will result in lower humidity. So looking at our GFS model here, you see that high build in, and then things are going to start to heat up as we get into that southwesterly flow, and then the rain chances return Friday into the weekend. We will have rain chances, as you can see there on that GFS model. So let's go to the HRRR model now, 0ZHRRR, and we will go ahead and look here at tomorrow. You see it's dry, fortunately, and same thing for Wednesday. We won't be dealing with any showers or thunderstorms for the next day or so, at least here on Long Island. See that dry push of air, northwest winds, dew points drop. Not that low, but they will be lower, and it will feel more comfortable. But you see that westerly flow there becoming maybe southwest in the afternoon. It means it's going to be a warm day, and with that westerly flow, not much of a sea breeze. And the same thing for Wednesday. Maybe it's going to try to develop a little more of a sea breeze. But inland, you'll notice the dew points are still bearable. They're not terrible. Not as extreme as we will see as we get toward later in the week. Air temperatures tonight, we will drop into the mid-60s. And tomorrow, it's going to be a warm day. Mid to upper 80s, maybe close to 90 in certain areas around New York City. So it's still going to be warm, but the humidity will be lower. Tomorrow night, we'll drop into the mid to upper 60s. And then for Wednesday is going to be even hotter. A lot of us have a shot of seeing 90 or better, especially New Jersey. You'll have no problem getting into the mid-90s, but I think even Long Island will get close to 90. The sea breeze will be limited, and it will eventually help the South Shore out a little bit. But beyond that, it'll easily be 90, probably here in Mineola both days. So let's go to the GFS here. We'll show you what's going to happen as we get later in the week and what's going to cause our rain chances to return. You see the southerly flow bring up the humidity here as we get to Friday and Saturday. You'll see those dew points climb back into the 70s. So that's going to bring in the humidity along with the heat, because as we go into Thursday, You'll see here's the GFS again showing. I think a lot of us will see 90 on Wednesday. I think the sea breeze effect will be weak. And it'll be limited mainly to the immediate south shore with that westerly flow. Thursday, I think we'll have a tendency to see a little more of a sea breeze, which will give us more of a dichotomy. Mid to upper 80s on Long Island, close to 90 in Nassau. Jersey, you're going to be in the 90s, and it's going to be brutal there. And then Friday cools down just a little bit, but still above normal. A lot of us getting close to 90, and it's just going to be humid. And then as we get towards Saturday and Sunday, you can see Saturday looks kind of cool, like we might have a lot of rain chances on Saturday. And then Sunday, here we are back in the heat again. And yeah, those rain chances, again, if we go look at the total accumulated precip here, you'll see not much falls until we get toward Friday, start seeing a little more. And then Saturday, we'll start seeing a little more shower activity there. Let's go now do the clouds. So clouds for tomorrow. Not much in the way of clouds. I think we'll have mostly sunny conditions. And same thing for Wednesday. Maybe some scattered cirrus, maybe some scattered cumulus. It's Thursday into Friday that we'll start seeing more clouds in the sky, especially as you get toward the weekend. Let's go to the RGM here. This is the RGM, and this RGM is for tomorrow. You can see mostly sunny skies, maybe some cumulus development, but it'll be fairly sunny. And the cumulus development would mainly be in the afternoon. For Wednesday, you can see, again, fairly sunny skies and maybe only very widely scattered cirrus cumulus by the evening, perhaps. It is Thursday that we'll be dealing with more in the way of clouds, though it's showing that we will have some breaks. So it won't be a cloudy day, but there'll be a lot of high clouds around on Thursday. Let's now go to the, lastly, the smoke. Let's do that. And we've got the RAP smoke model first, which we're going to look at, and you'll see it's a little bit gets but it's probably mainly a loft, maybe a slight bit of haze tomorrow. I think maybe you'd see a tendency to see more of it on Wednesday, perhaps, but nothing crazy. We can look at the near surface smoke, and I don't think there's going to be much of that, but we'll run this just to see if it winds up getting here. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be mainly a loft. It's showing very, very little bit there on the near surface smoke. It's mainly staying in Canada. Let's now go to the HRRR and look at the HRRR vertically integrated smoke model and see if this looks any different, because some models handle this differently. So we're going to look at this and see if it looks any different. And it's showing, this is the vertically integrated smoke, and it is showing some around tomorrow, and maybe a little bit of haze. We're going to have a little bit of it, but nothing dramatic. And again, if we look at the near surface smoke, probably go to that, and we'll see if we can get that up there. This one always takes a while to load the HRRR. This is the near surface smoke. It actually will make it to parts of the upper Midwest. It's showing a little bit, but it's very, very slight. But there could be some around, obviously, so it won't be pristine air, obviously. Getting that is very hard, as you can see. Though I will say the air quality this afternoon was very good. It'd be nice if we had some of that for tomorrow, but again, I do see some of that smoke kind of coming through. So just crazy with all that flooding going on, and just absolutely nuts if we go here and we just go to Twitter here, and I'll just, we'll go to the governor's page, because why not? And we'll go to her page, and we'll see, because New York severe weather are the new normal. That's right. Of course, Fox News, knowing them, they're going to make fun of it, but it is. It's the new normal. She's right. I'm actually, today was kind of a day that I was kind of glad she's our governor, because I think she actually did a very good job with this, and at least she realizes how important the climate crisis is. We don't agree on everything else, but sometimes you have to this is the number one issue facing humanity, and sometimes I have to put this other stuff aside and focus on who's going to address this issue. So it shows right here the damage going on, and it's really a crisis. Look at this. Here's a map of the rainfall here. Another map of the new rainfall that's occurring. So I mean, it's absolutely nuts. And all we got to do is put flooding in here, and you see all these pictures of flooding here that we have. No more rain. This is Vermont. I mean, look at that. That's insane. This is downtown Barre in Vermont, underwater. So it's Vermont. This is the new normal, and that's what's scary, and it's only going to get worse. This is the crisis, and this is why we need to have elected officials take this climate crisis seriously. And I can't, in my conscience, support candidates that deny climate change, which means I probably won't be supporting any more Republicans in the future, because I mean, this is insane. Look at this. Barre City. Palisades Parkway. Look at this. They got fan boats trying out rescuing people. I mean, this is the climate crisis, folks. And, flooding, fires, more extremes. Look at this. Waterfalls. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we are dealing with. And it's only going to get worse. So, what can I say? And I'm going to keep talking about this. This has got to be our number one issue from here on out. And, when it comes to elected officials, like I said, I have to overlook the other stuff because, none of this other stuff matters if we can't get through this with the climate crisis, all right? And my last word on this climate crisis is, yes, we've got to stop burning fossil fuels. We've got to get more people using mass transit. But it's in a way, it's too late. But I still think that we can prevent it from getting worse if we do change our ways. It's, we got to get these huge ass pickups off the road. We've got to, and we're going to have to find ways to possibly mitigate the climate crisis by maybe reducing solar radiation to the surface somehow, mimicking a volcano, a big volcano eruption like Mount Tambora, to put that sulfur dioxide in the upper atmosphere so it reflects some of the sunlight to cool the planet down. We're going to have to do whatever we can, but we have to overcome the ignorance and outright contempt for the planet, particularly on the right, which is why I can no longer really support any candidates on the right anymore, because this climate crisis is the number one issue facing humanity, facing all our communities. We're going to have to toughen our infrastructure, and I think the governor actually, like I said today, I was really proud to have her as our governor, because I think she realizes the mess we're in. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. This is the new normal. And enjoy the nice weather the next couple of days. That's all I could say, because before you know it, we'll be dealing with another disaster. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.